Well, so we're partway through Lent, and I guess the question is kind of our Lenten practices that we're doing. Really, the main point is, what are we allowing God to do through them? And a spiritual director, he used to always ask me, not so much what I did for Lent, but really what God did through what I did in Lent. And that's really the main point. In fact, I remember I went on retreat one time. It was a silent retreat. I was assigned a spiritual director. I had all these things that I was going to do. I was going to fast. I was going to get up in the middle of the night. And so I had my first meeting with him, and he told me I couldn't do any of that. And of course, I thought, well, he's not very holy. So anyway, but at the end of my retreat, it was probably the most powerful retreat that I had. And he reminded me, he said, remember all those things you told me you were going to do? He said, I had been praying for you, and I knew you were going to have a good retreat, and I was afraid that you would think it was what you did instead of what God did on retreat. So really, the whole thing about Lent, the practices that we do, it's kind of, we're just pulling weeds, and what God has planted, we're just allowing that to surface, really allowing that to grow. So I would say, if you haven't had a great Lent, it's not too late. Kind of start it back up. But really, it's going to be about what God is going to do through you, not what you're doing, but what God is going to do through those practices. So have a great Lent. We'll pray for one another. God bless.